Okay, can the teams hear me and respond in the chat if so? Okay, excellent. Do we have any pre-match questions before we get started?
I don't believe we do.
TJ or Tom C. Clark? Okay, so this is effectively the same as all the previous rounds you've played, with just a few differences. I do have a scorekeeper. That's Henry Schott, who has the ability to type and to talk. I also have a few people with mod powers, namely Ben Ream and Matthew Thomas, if they need to adjudicate challenges effectively. Challenges can go in the chat by coaches or players, or directly to me via DM. But please note that only coaches and players are allowed to challenge. Spectators, you're automatically muted and automatically in both. So you're automatically muted, essentially. You can't type in the chat, and you can't remove yourself from mute in the voice call. This is to ensure that there's no interruption of play by spectators. Okay, any pronunciation questions before we get started?
Will there be a test question?
There will be a test question. And I'll make that expressly clear. Anything else? Okay, seeing nothing, I think we're going to get started. So, the first is a test question. This does not count. Yes, I can read the Aurelia passage, good point. Okay, here's the Aurelia passage. Aurelia, cui urbs placebat, erat naigupto cum familia sua ingentiet equo suo, tredecem ludos magnos iovas in amphitheatro Alexandriae spectabunt. Tandem hic equus iratus domum recurre coipit, ehu. Any other questions? Okay, I'm not seeing any, so I'm going to proceed on to the test question. This test question does not count for any points. I'm going to read this so that you and I are familiar with playing and so that we can work out any technical difficulties ahead of time. This question is not necessarily reflective of the difficulty of the round. Toss-up 0, test question. When her son was killed because he excelled in sports. Dante? Samathe is correct. What nymph sent a wolf to destroy the flocks of Peleus, one of the murderers? Here's your first bonus, BLS. What goddess interceded for Peleus and forced Samathe to turn the wolf to stone?
That's his final answer.
Yes, and I will ask you for your final answer, so if you can note that in the chat, or if you can say it out loud, that'd be great. And your second bonus, BLS. By what man had Samathe had her son Focus?
That would be Iacchus, right?
Yes.
Iacchus, final answer.
Iacchus is correct. Okay, so that's the test question. The round will start here with the first real question. This is no longer a test question. Toss-up 1. Using a deponent verb in the protasis, translate the following sentence from English to Latin. If you were speaking, I would not be listening. David? I need you to continue your answer, please. I'm going to time you out. In 3, 2, 1. Continue, please. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. I'll repeat for the remaining two teams. Using a deponent verb in the protasis, translate the following sentence from English to Latin. If you were speaking, I would not be listening to you. Dante?
Si loquereris ego te non audire.
That's correct. Here's your first bonus, BLS. Translate. If this had been a sin to say, then you would have been silent.
Can you repeat?
Translate. If this had been a sin to say, then you would have been silent.
What I just typed in the chat is final answer.
That's correct. Your second bonus, BLS. Translate using a present general condition. If he ever says that he is the king, then that man is always believed by the people.
Can you repeat the sentence?
If he ever says that he is the king, then that man is always believed by the people. And I need an answer, please.
What I just typed, final answer.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points for BLS on toss-up 1. Moving on to toss-up 2. While in a Campanian coastal city known only as Graeca Urbs, Dante? I need you to give your answer, please. Horace is incorrect. I'll repeat for the remaining two teams. While in a Campanian coastal city known only as Graeca Urbs, who discusses the decline of oratory with a useless professor, Agamemnon, completing part of his escapades as the protagonist? David? I need you to give your answer, please, David. Time in 3, 2, 1, time. That's incorrect. I'll repeat for the remaining team, Clark. While in a Campanian coastal city known only as Graeca Urbs, who discusses the decline of oratory with a useless professor, Agamemnon, completing part of his escapades as the protagonist of Petronius' Satyricon? I'll repeat. While in a Campanian coastal city known only as Teddy.
Encolpius?
Encolpius is correct. Here's your first bonus, Clark. Unlike every Satyricon question ever written, we will not now ask you about the Cana Trimalchionis. Prior to that scene, Encolpius and his companions narrowly escaped the seductions of what female follower of Priapus?
Can you repeat?
Unlike every Satyricon question ever written, we will not now ask you about the Cana Trimalchionis. Prior to that scene, Encolpius and his companions narrowly escaped the seductions of what female follower of Priapus? I need an answer, please.
No answer.
Quartilla is what we're looking for. Here's your second bonus. Later in the work, Encolpius encounters what arch-enemy of his? A merchant who is swept overboard, resulting in his death.
Can you repeat?
Later in that work, Encolpius encounters what arch-enemy of his? A merchant who is swept overboard, resulting in his death. I need an answer, please.
No answer.
This is Lycus, L-I-C-H-A-S. So that's 10 points for Tom C. Clark on toss-up 2. Moving on to toss-up 3. Toss-up 3. While returning from Peleus' funeral games, what pair of brothers was killed by Heracles? Joseph?
Zetes and Callias?
Zetes and Callias is correct. What pair of brothers was killed by Heracles, who erected pillars on their graves that swayed whenever their father, Boreas, blew on them? Here's your first bonus, TJ. After Boreas carried off Oreithia as she was playing, she gave birth to Zetes and Callias, as well as what two daughters?
Cleopatra and Chione? Final answer?
That's correct. Here's your second bonus, TJ. Boreas is sometimes credited as the father of two other sons. One was a king of the Edonians who drove away the followers of Dionysus, while the other led a group of pirates on Naxos, where he raped a woman named Coronis. Name both.
Answer.
Were you saying something there? You kind of cut out on my end.
No answer.
No answer? Final answer, no answer? Okay. We need Lycurgus and Butes. So that's 15 points for TJ on toss-up 3. They got first bonus, but missed second bonus. Here's toss-up 4. Which of the following words, if any, is not a causal conjunction? Ad enim, quare, caterum, namque. David. I'm going to hear Dante. And Teddy? Yes, Caterham is correct, and I think Caterham is an important typo here, so I'm taking Teddy's answer. So here's your first bonus, Clark. What kind of conjunction is Caterham?
Can you repeat?
Yes. What kind of conjunction is Caterham?
Any ideas?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either. No answer.
This is adversative. Your second bonus. To what class do all of the following conjunctions belong? Inde, id kirko, ergo, and igatur.
It's like therefore and stuff. So then, what would the term be for that? Like, huh?
I need an answer, please.
No answer.
These are illative conjunctions. ILLATIVE. So that's 10 points for Clark on toss-up 4. Moving on to toss-up 5. Yes, Mike. Go ahead.
I know that quare is not listed under the whatever the A and G list calls causal, but it has the same meaning as a causal conjunction. Like, for which reason?
Okay, we'll check on that.
Wasn't it asking which one isn't a causal?
Yes, sorry. Which of the following words, if any, is not a causal conjunction?
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed that part of the question.
Okay. Sorry about that. I missed it too. So that's 10 points to Clark and no challenge on toss-up 4. We're going to move on to toss-up 5. Toss-up 5. Of the Temple of Divine Claudius, Baths of Diocletian, Praetorian Camp, and the Porticus of Livia, which one was located outside... Teddy?
The Baths of Diocletian.
That's incorrect. Ayush?
The Porticus Libya.
That's incorrect. I'll repeat for BLS. Of the Temple of Divine Claudius, Baths of Diocletian, Praetorian Camp, and the Porticus of Livia, which one was located outside the Servian walls? Dante. Praetorian Camp is correct. Here's your first bonus, BLS. Of the Mausoleum of Augustus, Stadium of Domitian, Theatre of Balbus, and the Macellum, which one was not located in the Campus Martius?
Okay, Stadium of Domitian definitely was. Can you repeat the list?
Mausoleum of Augustus, Stadium of Domitian, Theatre of Balbus, and the Macellum.
Yeah, Stadium of Domitian is definitely in the Campus Martius, so I think it's down to those. Luke,
I think the Theatre of Balbus is too.
Okay.
Could I have your answer, please?
The Macellum.
Macellum is correct. Here's your second bonus. Of the Via Ostiensis, Via Tusculana, Via Salaria, and Via Labicana, which road led northeast out of Rome?
North, east. Wasn't the Salaria like... Yeah, wait. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Via Salaria.
Via Salaria is correct. So that's the full 20 points to BLS on toss-up 5. And we're going to wait for our score check.
Hi, gang. Score update here. So our score after 5 is that BLS has 40, Tom C. Clark has 20, and Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology has 15. No one can unmute themselves but cheer wildly for your favorite team to yourself. Woo!
Okay, we're going to move on to toss-up 6. Toss-up 6. What author, who claimed that Rome was founded in either 729 or Teddy?
Varro Reatinas.
That's incorrect. David? Could I have your answer, please? No, Propertius is incorrect. I'll repeat for BLS. What author, who claimed that Rome was founded in either 729 or 728 BC, was captured by Carthaginian troops in 209? Dante? Quincius Alimentus is correct. Here's your first bonus, BLS. The traditional year of Rome's founding, 753 BC, was first popularized by the chronology of what later author?
Yep, Varro Rhaetinus, final answer.
That's correct. Here's your second bonus. What other antiquarian scholar and contemporary of Varro, who wrote a universal history entitled Liber Annalis, significantly influenced Varro's views on the founding of Rome?
This would be Atticus, final answer.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points for BLS on toss-up 6. We're going to move on to toss-up 7. Toss-up 7. Rudis augmenum, a phrase found in Horace meaning Dante?
Genitive of specification.
Genitive of specification is correct. A phrase found in Horace meaning unskilled in battle exemplifies what use of the genitive, along with the expressions notus animi paterni, pauper aquae, and feci rerum. Here's your first bonus, BLS. Verbs of exchanging such as muto, per muto, and huerto commonly take what use of the ablative?
Ablative of price, final answer.
That's correct. Here's your second bonus. Some nouns, including insidiae and obtemperatio, rarely can take what case like their corresponding verbs, instead of what expected case in use.
Dative instead of objective genitive, final answer.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points for BLS on toss-up 7. We're going to move on to toss-up 8. Toss-up 8. What mythological woman, whom Ovid calls the most beautiful girl in Oichalia, went to a lake with her Dante?
Oichalia, is that Iole?
Iole is incorrect. Joseph? Dryope is correct. Went to a lake with her son Amphissus, where she picked a lotus blossom and was transformed into a tree as punishment. Here's your first bonus, TJ. In the Metamorphoses, the story of Dryope is told by her half-sister. Who is this daughter of Eurytus?
Iole, final answer.
That's correct. Here's your second bonus, TJ. What husband of Dryope kissed the wood and clung to the roots of the tree she had become?
Could you repeat the toss-up, please?
Yes. What mythological woman, whom Ovid calls the most beautiful girl in Oichalia, went to a lake with her son, Amphissus, where she picked a lotus blossom and was transformed into a tree as punishment? I need your answer, please.
Andrymon, final answer.
Andrymon is correct. So that's the full 20 points for TJ on toss-up 8. We're going to move on to toss-up 9. Toss-up 9. Please translate into Latin using rogo. I am asking whether you have done this or not. Dante. That's correct. Here's your first bonus, BLS. Please translate into Latin using an idiom and the verb rideo. He could not help but smile.
I think that is what they're going for. Non potuit quin rideret, final.
That's correct. Here's your second bonus. Please translate into Latin using anxious. The senators are too anxious to be able to speak.
Wait, it can't be anxious, I don't think. The senators are too anxious to be able to speak. Yes, what I just typed, final answer.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points for BLS on toss-up 9. Moving on to toss-up 10. Toss-up 10. After failing to commandeer ships to carry his forces across the Straits of Messina, what man was finally defeated in Apulia in Teddy?
Spartacus?
Spartacus is correct. In 71 BC, whereupon the road from Capua to Rome was lined with 6,000 of his crucified soldiers. Spartacus. Bonus 1. I'm Spartacus, who might have been inspired by what man who led the first servile revolt with Cleon. He was said to be able to vomit fire from his mouth when he spoke oracles.
Answer Eunice.
That's correct. Here's your second bonus. The second servile revolt was led by Salvius and Athenion. From what region of Asia Minor did Athenion hail? Publius Ventidius Bassus won a battle over the Parthians at this region's namesake Gates in 39 BC.
Answer Kylikia.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points for Clark on toss-up 10. We'll wait for our score check.
Hey gang, it's me keeping the score again. Alright, so we have after 10, BLS is at 100, Tom C. Clark is at 40, and TJ is at 35. Cheer wildly with your emote of choice. I've tried to help you pick A, B, or C. Woo!
Okay, so we're going to move on to toss-up 11 in the meantime. Toss-up 11. After winning several boxing... I think that's an accident rather than a buzz. Yeah, okay. I hadn't completed substantive words, so I'm going to start the toss-up over. Toss-up 11. After winning several boxing contests at the Olympics, who came to the town of Temesa, where he defeated a ghost of one Danny?
Euthymus.
Euthymus is correct. Where he defeated a ghost of one of Odysseus' crew members who had been harassing the town. Euthymus. Your first bonus, BLS. Which of Odysseus' crew members had been killed by the townspeople and haunted them as a ghost?
Oh my god. What is his name? Polites.
I defer to Danny.
Polites?
Is that your final answer?
Yes, final answer, Polites.
That's correct. Your second bonus. At least 2 of Odysseus' crewmen survived the return from Troy. These were Macarius and Achaemenides. Among what beings was Achaemenides marooned when Odysseus' crew left in haste?
Yes.
Cyclopes, final answer.
That's correct. That's the full 20 for BLS on toss-up 11. Moving on to toss-up 12. Toss-up 12. Change the phrase quaddam frequens epulum to the plural. Dante. Quaedam frequentes epulae is correct. Here's your first bonus, BLS. Change una quisque basis to the genitive.
Can you repeat?
Yes. Change una quisque basis to the genitive.
Unius cuiusque baseos. Final answer.
That's correct. Here's your second bonus. Change solus damnas sicarius to the dative.
Soli, I think damnas is indeclinable, so soli damnas sicario. Final answer.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points for BLS on toss-up 12. Moving on to toss-up 13. What 3-word Latin phrase, which reminds of the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, does Virgil use in his third eclogue to signify a hidden, lurking danger? Dante? Anguis in herba is correct. Here's your first bonus, BLS. What 3-word Latin expression from the Aeneid, which is used to describe a wise person who is prepared for any endeavor, literally means prepared for each thing?
It's probably a different order. I think it's probably... Wait. No, I think that is the right order. Paratus in omnia final.
That's incorrect. I need in utrumque paratus in any order. Here's your second bonus. In Book 12 of the Aeneid, as Turnus prepares to avenge his honor in a duel, what 2-word Latin phrase does Virgil use to suggest that the solution is worse than the problem? It literally means, it grows sick by healing.
Okay, this should be... Oh. It's probably either it should be probably igrescet medendo would be my... What I just typed, final answer.
That's correct. That's 15 points for BLS on toss-up 13. They missed bonus 1 but got bonus 2. We're moving on to toss-up 14. Toss-up 14. Who am I? Before becoming emperor, I was a silentiarius of the sacred consistory. My reign saw the construction of the Long Wall, a defense... Dante? That's incorrect. Ayush? Aurelian's incorrect. I'll repeat for Clark. Who am I? Before becoming emperor, I was a silentiarius of the sacred consistory. My reign saw the construction of the Long Wall, a defensive bulwark which stretched from the Propontis to the Pontus Euxinus. My reign began when Ariadne, the daughter of Leo I, chose me to become her new husband after the death of Zeno, my predecessor. My reign lasted from 491 to 518 AD. Teddy?
Anastasius I.
Anastasius I is correct. Here's your first bonus. Beginning in 502 AD, Anastasius fought against what Persian ruler before an eventual peace treaty was signed 4 years later?
Can you repeat?
Beginning in 502 AD, Anastasius fought against what Persian ruler before an eventual peace treaty was signed 4 years later? Answer, please.
Daguliphus, final answer.
No, this is Kawad I, or Kavades I. Here's your second bonus. Anastasius was succeeded as Byzantine emperor by Justin I. Justin I was in turn succeeded in 527 AD by what man, who promulgated a law code based on the work of Theodosius II?
Final answer, Justinian the Great.
That's correct. So that's 15 points for Clark on toss-up 14. They got bonus 2 but missed bonus 1. Moving on to toss-up 15. Toss-up 15. What work of Latin literature discusses how the peregrinus, or pilgrim stranger, can leave ordinary... Dante? De Civitate Dei is correct. Can leave ordinary human society to travel to a distinct heavenly realm over the course of 22 books. De Civitate Dei, or the City of God. Your first bonus. A chief goal of the De Civitate Dei is to refute what school of philosophical thought, which had interested Augustine in his youth, like Manichaeism?
Neoplatonism, final answer.
That's correct. Your second bonus. What late Neoplatonist author wrote a work where a god gives 7 liberal arts as gifts to his bride?
Martianus Capella, final answer.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points for BLS on toss-up 15. Could we have our score check, please?
You certainly can. After 15, I've got us with BLS at 175, Tom C. Clark at 55, and TJ at 35. Emote away, crowd. Emote away. So where were we? Question 16.
Okay. We're going to move on to toss-up 16. Toss-up 16. Of the words cube, covey, incubate, and cubicle, which does not belong by derivation, since it does not... Dante? Cube is correct, since it does not derive from the verb kubo. Here's your first bonus, BLS. Of the English words gist, joint, joust, and jostle, which does not belong by derivation?
Okay, so gist is from Yakeo. The rest don't strike me as things that would be from Yakeo, so I'm inclined to think gist. Does anyone have any objection? Can you repeat the list?
Gist, joint, joust, and jostle. And I need an answer, please.
Yeah, gist.
Gist is correct. Your second bonus. What English cognate of gist is a horizontal wooden beam that supports a building's structure?
Okay, so this is related to Yakeo. Can you repeat the definition?
Horizontal wooden beam that supports a building's structure. And I need an answer, please.
No answer.
This is a joist. Joist. So that's 15 points for BLS on toss-up 16. They got bonus 1 but missed bonus 2. Here's toss-up 17. Toss-up 17. What literary form became a bona fide genre due to the efforts of a native of Bononia, Lucius Pomponius? Dante? Atellan farce is correct. Whose titles showcased masked characters such as Pappus the peasant, Bucco the gladiator, and Maccus the soldier. Here's your first bonus, BLS. What contemporary of Pomponius also came into the spotlight at that time, composing numerous farce plays, of which he possessed 44 titles but few lines?
Novius, final answer.
Novius is correct. Your second bonus. Titus Quinctius Ada, Titinius, and Lucius Afranius were among the most influential writers of what type of literary fabula, featuring comic characters in a Roman setting?
Fabulae Togatai, final answer.
That's correct. So that's the full 20 points for BLS on toss-up 17. Moving on to toss-up 18. Toss-up 18. Who defeated enemy forces with a sudden cavalry charge at the Silva Militiosa? Ethan? I need you to start your answer, please. 3, 2, 1.
Is this...
I'm going to call time.
Okay.
I'll repeat for the remaining two teams. Who defeated enemy forces with a sudden cavalry charge at the Silva Militiosa, soon after which it rained stones on the Alban mountain, causing him to begin an ill-advised sacrifice to Jupiter Olicius? Teddy?
Tullus Hostilius.
Tullus Hostilius is correct. Here's your first bonus, Clark. PSA. The Silva Militiosa is what a few Certamen guides call mantrap wood, but this name is not at all attested in Livy. Separately, at what battle in 509 BC did Roman Republicans defeat Etruscan forces led by Tarquinius Superbus, but suffer the death of Lucius Junius Brutus?
Answer Silva Arcia.
That's correct. Here's your second bonus. Cicero's Brutus recorded the number of murders were committed in 138 BC at the Silva Sila. The murders were tried under an ad hoc commission which went by what name? Later, this term came to denote a number of perpetual courts set up to try specific types of crimes.
Answer Quaestio.
Yes, Quaestio or Quaestiones or Quaestiones Perpetuae. So that's the full 20 for Clark on toss-up 18. Moving on to toss-up 19. Toss-up 19. Quid Anglicae significat pica? Teddy?
A parrot.
I'm going to hear David. Yes, magpie is correct. Here's your first bonus, TJ. Quid Anglicae significat smaragdus?
Could you please repeat?
Quid Anglicae significat smaragdus? I need your answer, please.
Jewel.
No, I can't accept that. I need emerald or jasper or beryl. Here's your second bonus. Quid Anglicae significat glycum? I need an answer, please.
Ember.
Amber is correct. So that's 15 points for TJ on toss-up 19. Could we have a score with 1 to go, please?
Absolutely. Here, coming into the penultimate toss, or here into the ultimate toss-up, I should say, we have BLS at 210, Tom C. Clark at 75, and TJ at 50, I believe. Cheer wildly. Emote away, crowd. You're doing great. I feel the love.
Okay, with 1 toss-up to go, this is the time to register challenges if there are any outstanding. I'm going to give you a few seconds to do that.
Could we challenge the Keterim?
No, because it's me who's deciding, and I think that's a distinct ending there, and I'm not going to change my own moderator judgment on that.
All right, thank you.
Sorry. No, it doesn't, because I think you could see it on analogy for interim, for instance. You think that it has an IM ending, but it doesn't. So I'm not going to change that decision. Anything else? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move on to toss-up 20. Toss-up 20. When her father was driven from the rule of Privernum, what young girl was carried with him, being thrown across the river Dante. Camilla is correct. Across the river Amazonas while attached to a javelin in order to reach safety. Here's your first bonus, BLS. Name Camilla's father, a king of the Volscians.
Yes. Metabus final.
Metabus is correct. And here's your second bonus, BLS. Camilla dies in Book 11 of the Aeneid, struck by Aaron's spear after she's distracted by the ostentatious, gold and purple clothing of what priest of Cybele?
Ooh. Interesting. So this priest of Cybele who distracts Camilla while Aaron throws the spear. I can't say I've heard of this.
Okay. Priest. Let's maybe
Because it would have to be like a Trojan.
I need an answer, please.
Ramnes was on the Italian side and was killed there.
3, 2...
Ram.
No, I need Chloreus. So that's 15 points for BLS on toss-up 20. They got the first but missed the second. Could we have our final score, please?
Definitely. Our final score is that BLS has 225, Tom C. Clark has 75, and TJ has 50. Well played, everybody. Woo!
Congratulations, everyone. That's the end of the tournament. Thanks for playing.
Thank you for moderating.
You're welcome. So we have BLS takes first, Clark takes second, and TJ takes third.
Yep.
Thank you.
Great tournament, Kearney.
The score sheet, the questions, and also hopefully a recording of the finals will be up on the website as soon as I'm able.